What if I told you that you can smoke chicken in an electric smoker, like a pro pitmaster, for under $10? I know what you're thinking. No way is that possible. Or electric smokers don't make real barbecue. I'm about to prove you wrong. Today, I'm sharing a dead simple way to make a smoky, tender chicken that rivals a $25 restaurant plate. You'll learn the grocery store trick that cuts your costs in half and a $2 rub that beats a $15 competition blend, the temperature mistake that ruins most backyard smokes, and how to turn your $10 chicken into $50 worth of meals. My dad ran backyard barbecues for 20 years, smoking 50 chickens for neighborhood cookouts with these tricks, and he was my mentor. So unlike most videos, this isn't just a tutorial, it's your ticket to becoming a barbecue hero of your next cookout. Think smoking a chicken like a pro means expensive gear or fancy ingredients? Nope, you could do it for under $10 with stuff in your pantry. And one grocery store trick that cuts costs in half. Let's break it down. Here's the deal. Grab a 4 to 5 pound whole chicken for about $4. Shop on Sunday or Tuesday at stores like Aldi or Walmart. This is going to be when they're on sale as loss leaders. Aldi's is my go-to. Their deals are unreal and the quality solid. Now, why do you need a whole chicken? A whole chicken is 60% cheaper than parts, saving you $5 to $8 right off the bat. Fresh is best, but frozen works too if you thaw it in the fridge for 24 hours. Look for intact skin, a plump breast, and no weird smell or slimy texture. There was this one time, while I was at the grocery store, I picked up the first chicken that I saw, only to find out that there was a hole in the packaging. And by the time I got home, there was a puddle of liquid at the bottom of the shopping bag, and it was all over my other groceries. No bueno. Moving on to the spices that you need for the rub. And they are paprika, salt, and garlic powder. And you will use maybe 50 cents worth of it. Now for smoking wood, I like to use apple wood. If you're probably one of the huge bags, you're probably going to use about $1. Use yellow mustard or olive oil as a binder, so under $1 for that ingredient too. Brings you to a total of $6.50, leaving enough change for a coffee. Now for equipment, you will need an electric smoker. They're perfect for this. They're well insulated, so they hold a steady temperature without having to babysit it. It's going to be unlike a charcoal or a pellet grill, which could have flare-ups, run out of fuel, or not hold a steady temperature. And an electric smoker works in any weather. They're even great for apartments. So do you think we're still under that $10 budget? Now let's talk about how to prep that chicken. Ever had a smoked chicken that's dry or flavorless? I have, until my dad showed me how to prep the chicken the right way. He used to do this for his epic cookouts. And you can nail this too. No fancy skills needed. The first step in how to smoke a chicken in an electric smoker is take the chicken out of the packaging. Then you're going to want to check the cavity to see if the giblets are in there. They're usually in a bag that's located inside the chicken. Then pat the chicken dry with some paper towels. Dry skin is the secret for that crispy texture. Now for some extra juicy meat, try a quick 15-minute brine. Combine 8 cups of water, half a cup of salt, a quarter cup of brown sugar, and if you're feeling spicy, a splash of hot sauce. Soak the chicken in the brine mixture. Then after about 15 minutes, remove the chicken from the brine, and then you're going to pat it dry again. This step is optional to stay under the $10 budget, but it makes the meat super tender. Now, if you're short on time, skip it. You'll still get a great bird. Now seasoning. Use yellow mustard as the binder. It costs less than $1 and it helps the spices stick, giving you that crusty bark. Spread it all over, even under the wings. It won't taste like mustard, I swear. It just holds everything together. Lately, I've been skipping the binder. There's usually enough moisture on the skin for the rub to stick, especially if you use a generous amount of seasoning. And here's my $2 rub that beats $15 competition blends. Yeah, I know in the video that I'm using one of those store-bought rubs, but that is because that day I was super lazy. Most of the time, I'm using the following rub: 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar for sweetness, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and a pinch of cayenne for a kick. Mix it up, rub it in everywhere, inside, outside, and under the skin for a flavor punch. And that's what most videos skip. They don't show you to put this rub under the skin. By the way, if you're new to backyard barbecue and you need a little bit of help with cooking times and temperatures, I have a free guide for you. It covers everything from meats to veggies and is perfect for getting started. All you have to do is just drop a 100 down in the comments below and I'll send it your way. Here's the temperature mistake that ruins 90% of backyard smokes. Most folks set their smoker to 225 degrees Fahrenheit because it's a classic, but 275 degrees is better for chicken. And I've learned this after serving a dry bird at a family barbecue. Dad wasn't impressed. Start with apple wood chips. It's a mild smoky rid and great with chicken. Layer in a handful of mesquite for a bold kick. It's a pitmaster secret my dad used for his cookouts. We're going to use less than $1 worth here. Don't soak them. Dried chips make a cleaner smoke, and we want to avoid that bitter taste from over smoking. Use about 2 to 3 handfuls total, and then set your electric smoker for 275 degrees. It crisps the skin up better and still keeps everything tender. And then we're going to preheat it for about 20 minutes. Place the chicken breast side up. Use the water pan for steady temps and humidity. This was Dad's trick for consistent results. Now today, I'm using my Meter Plus meat probe. I want to keep track of that internal temperature. And I love this thing because I don't have to babysit. I wonder what the internal temperature is. It has an app and I can just sit inside the house and watch the game and keep track of how my meat is doing. I have to make sure that I insert it into the thickest part and avoid the bone. Now speaking of internal temperature, aim for 165 degrees in the breast. 175 to 180 in the thigh for that juicy fall apart meat, and then smoke for 3.5 to 4 hours, checking hourly. Spritz every hour with apple juice mixed with a splash of white vinegar. Stuff you got at home. The vinegar adds that tangy zing that makes it stand out. Don't open the door too often. It drops the temperature and prolongs the cooking times. If your smoke starts to fade, then add some more wood chips. But make sure not to overdo it or it'll taste bitter. By hour number 2, you'll see a golden color on the chicken. By hour number 3, temps hit about 130 to 150. And by hour 4, check for 165 in the breast, 175 to 180 in the thigh. And if you got uneven cooking, your chicken is too close to the heat. Move it to a higher rack. If you got a bitter taste, you use too many wood chips. Stick to 2 to 3 handfuls. Is your temperature dropping? Check the smoker's vent and clear the ash from the chip tray. Open the chip loader slightly to get better airflow and a cleaner smoke. These fixes save my barbecues and they'll save yours too. So now your chicken's smoky, juicy, and smells like barbecue heaven. Now you smoked a pro level chicken for under $6.50. Now let's turn it into $50 worth of meals. First, let's let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes under some loose foil to lock in all the juices. For extra crispy skin, pop it under the broiler for 2 to 3 minutes. Now watch it closely to avoid burning. Use a sharp knife to remove the legs and the thighs. Then slice the breast against the grain. Plate it on a cutting board with a drizzle of cheap barbecue sauce mixed with some honey. This is going to give you a pro level look. Now take a look at this chicken. You made this and it only cost you $4 for the chicken, 50 cents for the rub, and $1 in wood chips, for a total of $6.50. The restaurant could easily charge $20 to $25 for this. But you were smart and you made it at home. Now to stretch it further, you can serve dinner for a family of 4, which is a $20 value. You can make pulled chicken sandwiches or tacos. That's like a $15 value. And you can use it for leftovers for chicken salad, which is like a $12 value. And save that carcass to make stock later, which is going to save you about $8. Now that's $50 plus in meals. You could store the leftovers in the fridge for about 3 to 4 days, or you can freeze for up to 3 months. And it can last even longer if you vacuum seal it. So now you know how to smoke a chicken on an electric smoker, and you did it for under $10. Smoky, juicy, and a total steal. You've got the grocery store trick, the killer rub, and the temperature fix to avoid dry chicken. But here's the thing, chicken isn't the only thing that you can smoke in an electric smoker. Check out this video right here where I smoke in an awesome prime rib roast in an electric smoker. Check it out now, and I'll see you there.